everybody, welcome to Striker TV. I'm your host, Brian. People call me Reaver. And in this first episode of Striker TV, we're going to be given a brief introduction to playing Mag Fed Paintball. Why would you want to play Mag Fed? Well, the answer is a little bit different for everybody. Why do I personally play Mag Fed? Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. There are really two answers to that question for me. The first is challenge. I like the challenge of going up against players with far more firing capacity, than I have. You really have to change the way you think about engaging other players. The second reason for me is realism. Instead of playing with your typical paintball marker with a large 200 round hopper, sitting on the top of it, I'm playing with a rifle that looks and functions more like a real rifle. And then, you feed it using spring-fed magazines. To me, this just feels far more natural, than playing with a hopper and a large tank on the back. There are also a couple of advantages to playing Mag Fed. First off, using magazines, you have the ability to feed first strike rounds continuously, or other, shaped projectiles, which you cannot do that using a hopper. The only other way to do it is to muzzle load them, which I've done. Second, having a smaller tank on the back becomes practical, which allows you to, have your marker untethered. So, a lot of these Mag Fed guns have the ability to put a 13 cubic inch tank in the stock, which allows you to run without a remote line. And so you can move your gun around to either side of your body. As far as Mag Fed guns go, there's a common misconception that it takes a pretty substantial investment of money, to get into playing Mag Fed paintball. While yes, there are some instances where this is true, there are definitely some lower cost entry points to consider. There's a lot of different options as far as markers and price points that you've got to choose from. So today we're going to go over a couple of different options that we have. There are tons of options and price points that you've got for getting into Mag Fed. So we're going to take a look at a couple of different markers here and kind of go over the price points a little bit and work our way up. The cheapest and most honestly practical way to get into Mag Fed is with the Tacamo MK kits. This is built on an A5, which is one of 3 that I had laying around. And you can pick these up for about 120 bucks. You add the D-mags on top of that, which the kit's 60 bucks, and you're ready to go for about 180 bucks. These kits are available for Tippmann's, BT's, the Vulcan SW1, and the US Army markers. So for 180 bucks, and most people have those things laying around, you're ready to go out and play some Mag Fed. The next level of markers is the mid-range, and a lot of these range between $300 and $600 depending on what configuration you want to get. We've got companies like Wrap with the MK kits and the 468s, Milsig, Scarab Arms, and then Tacamo, which is the company that the conversion kits are marketed under. You can buy the kits, or you can buy a fully assembled one, as well as the Tiberius markers. We're not going to really get into the main differences between them, but basically, in my opinion, the Scarabs and the Milsigs in the mid category provide, the best value for the money. Scarab has their magazines, which allow you to fire first strike rounds. And their markers work with all the different magazines, including the round collar ones from Milsig and Wrap. So that's definitely something to consider. Mil-Sigs, on the other hand, you know, got a first-gen K-series here. You know, they have a really good reputation for being super reliable, really well made, and now the new MK3, the Players Pack, which you can pick up for about $468, you know, comes with everything you need to get started. It's got 4 mags in it. It's got a great barrel, RIS, as well as the 13 cubic inch stock, you know, that has a tank in it. So you know, that's definitely, it's not a huge amount of money, and you know, it comes with everything you need. You know, on the high end of the spectrum, we've got markers like the Die Dam, which is essentially a die matrix wrapped up in a tactical body. You know, and the Mil-Sig Paradigm, you know, both of which have capabilities of shooting first strikes, as well as the Tiberius T4. So you know, there's quite a few different levels of markers that you've got to choose from, anywhere from, you know, 180 for a full setup for the Tacamo kits with the D-mags to, I believe the Die Dam is roughly around $1,200. So there's a huge spectrum that you have to work with, which, you know, allows pretty much anybody to jump in and, you know, start playing with Mag Fed. You know, for either as little money as they want to spend, or as a lot of money as they want to spend. So, you know, next up we're going to take a quick look at gear and kind of what you need, you know, to be able to carry these things and get out and play. So unfortunately, when you do move to a Mag Fed setup, you've got to buy some additional gear in order to be able to play effectively. It's just the way it is. You know, you've got to have a way to carry your magazines, since traditional pod packs aren't going to work. You might be able to fit one in there, but having one magazine isn't really going to do you a damn bit of good. If you've already got a vest that uses Molly, you know, you can just pick up some pouches, or the Mil-Sig Fast Mags, and just put your mags in that. My personal favorite are these pouches right here. This is the Voodoo Tactical double, they call it a double mag pouch. This will hold 4 Mil-Sig mags, this particular pouch. They also come in single, double, and triple setups. So you can carry 2, 4, 6 mags. It comes in pretty much all the patterns you would want. They've got OD, multicam, ATAX, black, tan, I mean, you name it. It's also cheap. It's like, I believe I paid $15 for that double pouch. It also has the ability to carry 100 and 140 round pods, because these top flaps are held in with Velcro, so they'll move up. So you can fit a 140 round pod in there. You know, another great option if you don't have a Molly rig already is the Condor chest rig that I've got here. I love this thing. A couple of reasons. One, it's cheap. The chest rig is $40, but it doesn't come with this back panel here, or you know, any of the pouches on there. But it will hold 6 mags straight out of the box, which is great. But I'm not going to get into too much detail on this chest rig, just because we're going to be doing a full review of it in an upcoming episode and going over the whole thing, including the back panel and stuff like that. So if you don't want to bite the proverbial bullet as far as getting mags and a Mag Fed gun, a good way to transition into Mag Fed play is to start limiting the amount of paint and ammo that you use. If you use a Tipman or any other marker with a Cyclone, or like the Rip Clip great option is to pick up a tack cap. We'll have links for all this stuff in the description of this video. But tack caps are cheap, and they'll give you a decent taste of what playing with limited ammo is like. So that's it for a brief introduction to Mag Fed. Mag Fed play isn't going to be for everybody. It takes a lot of practice, and it's definitely different. So but it's so much more fun, at least to me. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to Striker TV. Don't forget to subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more episodes coming up. Most of them are going to be a little more exciting and cooler than this, but make sure to check out our next episode. We're going to be talking to our friends down at our local paintball field, KC Crusaders, here in Washington. We're going to be talking about their upcoming 24-hour game, which is the biggest game in Washington. I've been playing there going to this game for almost 10 years now. I love it. It's the very first time I ever went paintballing was at KC's at their 24-hour game. So it's great fun. Make sure to check back and subscribe. And thanks for watching Striker TV.